Hey, I'm Josh, the founder of the Accountability Group, and hi, I'm Josh. I am vigilantly battling the diseases of addiction and mental health. So, I realize that this might get redundant after a while, so I'll try and stop saying it so much, but I'm in the process of moving, so these videos, while they're all going to be uploaded today and tomorrow, are a bit dated, and my apologies for that. But it's been hectic. Like 90% of the stuff that I've found, I'm basically donating to Goodwill. I don't need it. Like I literally don't need it. Yeah. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's dig into it. Today's daily reflections, July 31st. A prayer for all seasons. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, courage to change the things we can, and wisdom to know the difference. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 125. The power of this prayer is overwhelming in that its simple beauty parallels the AA fellowship. There are times when I get stuck while reciting it, but if I examine the section which is troubling me, I find the answer to my problem. The first time this happened, I was scared, but now I use it as a valuable tool. By accepting life as it is, I gain serenity. By taking action, I gain courage. And I thank God for the ability to distinguish between those situations I can work on and those I must turn over. All of that I have now is a gift from God. My life, my usefulness, my contentment, and this program. The serenity enables me to continue walking forward. Alcoholics Anonymous is the easier, softer way. Yeah, the serenity prayer, I'm not even gonna lie, I find myself saying that all the time throughout the day. Like, so when my feet hit the floor, the first thing I do is I'm grateful that I'm still alive, I'll be honest, because I've rolled the dice and I could have been dead a long time ago. Additionally, on top of that, I have to I'm dating myself right now, but like I think of, George Costanza's dad, and it's like, serenity now, and he's like angry all the time. Guy must have crazy high blood pressure. But yeah, I'll find myself in situations where I'm like, okay, this is out of my control. What are the things that I can control and change? And please, universe, give me a sign and the wisdom to know the difference between the two. Because I'm a type A control freak. Like, I'm not a micromanager, but I'm very detail oriented when it comes to certain things. And my work and academia and startups and entrepreneurship and whatever else you want to talk about that's like within my realm, oh yeah, I can be a challenge to work with. So I've said the serenity prayer a lot, and it's definitely helped me. The last part has always been the part that's always been the most intriguing to me, because the wisdom to know the difference is such a challenge sometimes. Because sometimes I feel like I have the right idea, or I have the right way of doing things, or this is how it should be done. And like, I'll even do this, see, because that's the problem. You know, they say lawyers are like their worst. Lawyers who defend themselves have an idiot for a client. Like, I'm that kind of way I was that kind of way when I would go to the hospital or to like detoxes or rehabs or clinics, because you really did not want to start talking to me about certain things, because I would literally be cogent, blowing like a 0.52 and still having a conversation with the doctor, explaining you need to push 4 milligrams of Ativan, set up a potassium bag and a saline solution, a 150 milliliter drip, and da da da. And it was just like, wait a second, this guy's completely hammered, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff going through his system, clearly based off of his UA. How is he even A, alive, and B, having this conversation with me? Not one of my prouder moments, and I've done that a lot. You know, so yeah, that's that. You know, ego was a big problem of mine. It was the big stumbling block, in all honesty, of me getting sober. Finding humility and eating a lot of humble pie. The universe basically stopped me in my tracks in like 2016, 2017. And then it kind of was like, you need to slow down and focus on yourself and focus on sobriety. And that was that. And ever since then, it's just been an intentional willingness to stay at the center of the fellowship, work the program, you know, remain grateful, appreciative of my family and friends, that I have all of these things, like all of these great things that I have in my life that are right in front of me. I don't need to be chasing the next thing. I'm not looking for the next thing. I have all the things in my life that I need. Like I said, I'm donating like 90% of the stuff that I have because I'm moving. Like, I just look at it and I'm like, I don't need all of this stuff. It's materialistic garbage. Like, the stuff that I do have, my parents are still alive, my aunts and uncles are all doing well. You know, my cousins are fine. You know, my brothers and sisters from another, they're all doing well and thriving. One of my best friends just had a second kid. So there's just like so many things right in front of me where I can be grateful and positive about, that I don't need to really be chasing the next thing. So yeah, that's the one little part of the serenity prayer where I always have to remind myself, like, all right, life gets lifey sometimes. 99.9% of this stuff is out of your control. Realize that you can only control your actions, thoughts, and behaviors, and do the best during these 24 hours to be the best human being that you can be. And don't drink and don't pop the top, because it's like Pringles, and once you start, you can't stop. That's how it works for me, at least. I would love for you to subscribe to our channel, like our videos, and most importantly, use the comment section. If you're a newcomer, ask for help or ideas. If you've had years under your belt or experience, share your experience, strength, and hope with the newcomers and give them some ideas of what helped you, and then they might be able to start their own road of recovery. So I've always found that to be very beneficial, is just talking with other members of the fellowship, whether it's the newcomer, because I learned so much from the newcomer. Like, I really like having flashbacks of like being in the hospital and having like a feeding tube and like all sorts of messed up stuff. And I'm like, I don't ever want to go back to where you were coming into the room from. And they help keep me like on the straight and narrow. And then for the old heads who have even more time than me, they'll call me on my BS. Like, one of my favorite ones to go to is this crosstalk meeting where they will literally, like, I'll be dead silent, and there's like 4 of them that will like just call me out, because it's a long meeting. It's like, it's 90 minutes. It's really 75, but we take like a 15-minute break for like halftime for like coffee and donuts and stuff, which I don't really mind. I mean, I personally would like to push through the meeting and have it only be 75 minutes, but you know, I'm not going to complain about, okay, we're having really stale coffee and I'm not sure how old these donuts are. But yeah, that's always interesting. The crosstalks are always interesting. I like those, and jaywalkers, and celebration meetings, and gratitude meetings, and there's a whole host of them. I mean, if you live in a major city, you can find meetings everywhere. So in DC, there's a ton of meetings. It was the same way when I was out in Palo Alto and San Francisco from 2002 to basically 2016, 2017, when the universe decided to put my rear end in check and have me slow down because my life was spiraling out of control. And my ex-girlfriend at the time called my family and was like, Josh is basically gonna end up dying or killing himself. And my family and friends ended up coming out and packing up my place and putting it in public storage, and I ended up, going to detox and rehab, and here we are. And I've started up a new actual social venture company where we don't give 1 or 2% away. We give, a substantial amount, 25 to 75% of our net profits go towards just scholarships, sober livings, therapy, medication, psychiatry, things like that, just to get people on their feet, and get them employed and get them the kind of life and opportunities that AA and NA have given me. And I mean, the only way to keep that stuff is to give it away. So that's that's the purpose of the accountability group and TAG, So please subscribe to our channel, like our videos, and most importantly, use the comments section. So if you're a newcomer, share and unburden yourself, ask questions. And if you have some time under your belt in terms of recovery, feel free to share your experience, strength, and hope, things that worked for you. And a newcomer might be able to pick up on some of those things, and that helps them down their journey and road to recovery. And I honestly believe that whether you've had time underneath your belt or you're a day oneer, you can both benefit from one another's experience. Because I definitely know when I meet a newcomer, I'm like, yeah, that is not where I ever want to be again. And then I never even realized that the stuff that I say or share in meetings, or the stuff that I definitely realize it when it's older, when people have way more time than me, I'm like, oh, that was a good piece of wisdom. But to the newcomer, I guess, since I'm younger, like, they come up to me and they're like, you know what? That sounded like really good advice. I'm gonna try that. Now, I would say like 80% of them probably don't try it, because the recidivism rate in this country is really high. I think it's like 85, 90%. But, there are some that keep coming back, and they have the intentional willingness to put themselves at the heart of the fellowship, to understand, that this is life or death. It's jails, institutions, or death. And I've done 2 of the 3. Hopefully I don't do the 3rd, otherwise you won't be seeing any more YouTube videos. But yeah, with all that being said, subscribe to our channel, like our videos, and definitely use the comment section. I'm Josh, the founder of the Accountability Group, and I'm also Josh, still vigilantly battling the diseases of addiction and mental health. Thank you.